Hello and welcome to Club 8 Part 6 of The Pilgrimage. My name is Jamie. Coming up on today's episode, I've got two games for you. We're at home to Rangers in the Champions League. I'll then play Brescia in Serie A off camera, and I'll then bring you back for the Champions League game against Cska Moscow. Since you were last with me, we've played two matches. We've beaten Spezia 2-0 at home in Serie A, and most recently Sampdoria were beaten 3-1 on their own ground, also in Serie A. So let's get straight into the first match of the episode against Rangers, and I'll show you the team for that one in just a moment. Okay, so here is the team for the game against Rangers. It is Pena in goal, back four of Vendel, Inacio, Del Grosso and Kostis Koval, Vitinha at the base of midfield, Fanavong and Bongazzoni ahead of him, Diaz on the left, Pons on the right, Franceschini up front. Let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, well, my assistant manager is recommending I want you to pick up where you left off last time out. Given that we're on a run of successive wins, that's not a bad shout. So let's outstretch the arms and agree with him. And let's go into the tunnel for our tunnel interview. Both teams carry some good recent form into this match. How confident are you? Big challenge, but hopefully one we're up for. Do you hope your team can produce today? I don't see why we're not capable of turning up and playing well here. Does being the Champions League's leading goal scorers give you confidence that you're always going to be in with a chance of winning? I want my team to play on the front foot, and the boys have done that really well so far. Yeah, I think they can continue. And we're ready to get the match underway. As always, we're going to let the first 10 minutes just go by unless anything dramatic happens. We are up against a back 3/back 5 today, which is not my favourite formation to play against, and it is Rangers who are having the first highlight. McPherson's shot comes back off a defender. Boateng picks up the loose ball. Doig down the left for Rangers gets his cross in. Tifoni with the header, but Pena grabs it at the second time of asking. And he's got options short, goes for Inacio. Vendel plays it forward to Brahim Diaz. Fanavong to Franceschini. Pons on the right now. Further right to Kostis Koval, who plays it into Franceschini. Goes for the chip, but he's just too high. And with 6 minutes gone, 0-0, but we've started reasonably. Kostis Koval back to Pena, finds Del Grosso to Vitinha, goes left to Vendel, down the left wing to Brahim Diaz, who crosses for Franceschini, headed down to Fanavong. Pons to the right now and Kostis Koval, he crosses. Franceschini is very much off target with the effort, and Rangers apparently have had the better start, although we've had the majority highlights so far. So I think probably a demand more is the right option, given that we're at home. And it is a Milan highlight this time, and it's smuggled behind by Rangers for a corner. So it'll be Vendel with another in-swinger, and this one's headed away by Tifoni, and the highlight comes to an end. Right. In terms of ratings, Brahim Diaz isn't having a great game. Other than that, everything's going okay. It's another Milan highlight. Brahim Diaz's free kick headed onto the woodwork, but Pons is offside, so the highlight comes to an end. We are definitely on top now, but still have nothing to show for it. So I think a demand more again. Let's see how that goes down. It's turned most of the faces one shade of green or another. Pons does keep this in, cuts in field, has the effort, keeper makes the save. It will be a corner, and it's the in-swinger. We fixed the corners. It's headed away though, and Hadji chases, but the highlight comes to an end. Free kick to Milan. Vendel to Brahim Diaz. Fanavong gives the ball away. Hadji to King for Rangers. Back to their keeper Stone, who launches it long. Del Grosso's under it. Finds Koval. Bongazzoni forward. Franceschini's onto it. Stone with the save, but Franceschini is offside. We've definitely had the better of the first half, but it's been relatively low-key. Very few chances overall. And in terms of substitutions, any one of a number of players. There's nobody deserving to come off for performance reasons, but there's a few players starting to tire. Kostis Koval into Pons. Pons gets it back. Kostis Koval works the space, and the save from Stone gives away the corner. So in-swinger from Vitinha into the middle. Header clips the woodwork, but via a Rangers defender. So it's a in-swinger from Vendel into the middle, headed away. And Rangers bring it further clear, and looking to get a cross in. He's worked space for the cross. Fanavong clears though, and in fact it's a handball by Tifoni, and the highlight comes to an end. So we're going to reach half time with the score somehow level, although Vendel with the corner cleared as far as Kostis Koval, who finds Vendel again. Bongazzoni to Del Grosso. Fanavong back to Vitinha, finds Kostis Koval. He finds Bongazzoni into Pons, gets space for the cross, and it's not going to be goalless at the break because Franceschini has put the ball in the back of the net, and it is going to count. So it is Milan 1, Rangers 0. And that indeed is the half-time score. So let's get into the dressing room. Going well. I know you're capable of even better. And let's have a look. We'll just make one change at half-time. And given that there's a number of tired players, but one of them is also nervous, Fanavong is going to be the one to make way. Helge Larsson's going to come on in his stead. That will be the only change at half-time. And we'll get them back out there for the second half, I think. And encourage, given that we're now ahead, is probably in order. It's Vendel with the throw-in to Larsson. Vendel again. Crosses deep to Pons, headed away. Crosses Koval to Bongazzoni. Larsson to Vitinha to Bongazzoni. Kostis Koval on the right, back to Bongazzoni, who crosses. It's cleared by Rangers as far as Vendel, who finds Larsson. Bongazzoni to the right and Kostis Koval. Can he get his cross in? No, pulls it back for Bongazzoni. Pons to Kostis Koval. Back to Bongazzoni, who does cross. It's a deep one. Brahim Diaz keeps it in, finds Vendel to Larsson. Vendel into Brahim Diaz, who smashes it past the goalkeeper. There is a query about offside. It's been given as offside initially, and the decision is overturned, so it is a goal. It is Milan 2, Rangers 0. And it's looking more comfortable now. Stone with the goal kick. We've won it back though. Vendel to Brahim Diaz to Vendel to Inacio to Vitinha. Del Grosso. Kostis Koval to Bongazzoni. Kostis Koval again down the right. Further forward is Pons, who crosses. Franceschini with the header on target in the back of the net. Milan 3, Rangers 0, and that is game over, surely. Franceschini on a double, in fact he's on a hat-trick, so I don't want to take him off yet. We'll take off Brahim Diaz because he's starting to struggle. We'll bring on Rafael Leao, and Doig with the cross, headed away. Brahim Diaz plays it forward for Larsson, into Franceschini, who has the shot, and Stone makes the save. It will be a corner, and we do get to see it. Vitinha with it, in swinger, headed away, and the highlight comes to an end. We're well on top, fully deserving of our 3-0 lead, and I think the next change is going to be Pons, the right winger, coming off. So that will be the third and final change, but not yet. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Franceschini is in, goes for the chip, but too much on it. It's over the top. So yeah, we're going to take Pons off and bring on... in fact, we don't really have a right wing option, although I'm going to bring Pedro on the right. It's not ideal, but that's what we're going to do. Pons back to Cska, into Vitinha, Cska again. Bongazzoni takes over, plays it back to Vitinha, Cska, back to Bongazzoni, further back to Vitinha, to Larsson, goes left to Veindel, to Larsson, Veindel again, crosses deep, and Rafael Leao with the header into the corner to make it 4-0 to Milan. No need for a replay, this is clearly a goal, and we will make that final substitution on 68 minutes. And this leaves us, as it stands, in fact it will be 6 points clear at the top of the group, so comfortably qualified as group winners. Cska into Bongazzoni, back to Vitinha, further back to Inacio, finds Veindel, Rafael Leao down the left, plays it back to Veindel, to Larsson, Bongazzoni with the shot, absolutely hammered past the keeper. 5-0 to Milan, and that is probably the best goal of the game, so I am going to let you see this one because it is a belter. Rafael Leao plays it back, Veindel into Larsson, laid off to Bongazzoni, and absolutely smashed into the back of the net. 5-0 to Milan, and we're into the last 10 minutes now. The game's well and truly up, thoroughly deserve the win. XG of 2.62 so far against 0.26 for Rangers. Rangers have offered very, very little going forward. We've been a constant threat, particularly second half. Franceschini's in again, but the forward pass is slightly overhit and goes through to Stone, who launches it long. Faulkner does pick it up, but Cska wins it back. Larsson to Leao. Leao gives it back to Larsson. Vitinha to Franceschini. Back to Inacio. Veindel on the left. Forward to Leao. Back to Veindel, who finds Leao again. Veindel into Larsson. Back to Inacio. Larsson. Forward to Leao. Franceschini into Pedro, who beats the keeper and makes it 6-0 to Milan. and we don't need a replay of that one. We'll move straight on. Comfortable victory in the end. Well, it's been comfortable for a very, very long time, and all 6 goals, or 5 of the 6 goals in the second half, and the other one in the final minute of normal time of the first half. Total domination of the second period, and it does indeed end Milan 6, Rangers 0. I'll be back in a moment with the second match of today's episode. Okay, well, we beat Brescia off camera 3-0 at home in Serie A. So now attention turns to the Champions League again, and the game on neutral ground against Cska Moscow. So let's get into the action, and I'll show you the team in just a moment. Okay, so the team for this one is Peña in goal, back 4 of Vitasek, Romero, Del Grosso and Kosciuszko, Van Rooyen at the base of midfield, Larsson and Bongazzoni ahead of him, Diaz on the left, Pons on the right, Pedro up front. Let's submit the team and go and give our team talk. Okay, well, the assistant is recommending, the media have given you a lot of credit lately, go out there and put on a worthy display. I'm going to slightly disagree and say I want you to ignore the recent praise in the media and just play your natural game. And that's left them motivated, professional and composed, all of which are absolutely fine. So let's go into the tunnel, do our tunnel interview. Can you explain how in Vaindel's absence today he's not injured as far as we know? Squad rotation. Bongazzoni starts again and will no doubt be looking to continue his fine vein of form. How pleased have you been with his performance? Playing well? Absolutely. Why have you not picked Gonzalo Inacio? He's been in good form. Squad rotation, it's that simple. Okay, let's kick the match off. As always, we'll allow the first 10 minutes to shake out and then make our decisions. We are already qualified. We are already guaranteed to have won the group as well, so no pressure at all on this game. But what we don't want to do is lose it. And we're already 1 goal to the good as long as this doesn't get chalked off. Pons with the goal, although it is being reviewed by VAR, and it's been given, so it is CSKA 0, Milan 1. And 8 minutes gone. Right, let's crack on then and see if we can add another one. Although this time it's a Cska Moscow highlight, although they do go all the way back to their goalkeeper, who launches it long straight down the middle, and it's gone through, and Iñaki Peña is out to make the save and does so at the expense of a corner, which Belkin will take. Outswinger into the middle, headed away. Pons gets there. And he's been fouled, surely there. It's a trip, so no more than a yellow at absolute most, and it's not even that. We await the next highlight. It is a Milan highlight, and it looks like a penalty's been given for a push in the area. Rarely do you see these not confirmed by VAR, and indeed it has been. So it's a penalty to Milan, and it is Pedro with it. Keeper goes the right way, makes the save, and Vitasek should get there for the to pick up the loose ball, but the highlight comes to an end. We're well on top in this game, but still only 1 goal to the good. And everybody is looking pretty healthy. We are rotating the squad heavily, so should be fine. Van Rooyen to Bongazzoni. It's crossed in, and Thomas Witasek with the header, and it is Cska Moscow 0, Milan 2, and that's Witasek's first goal for Milan. And that confirms us as having a 6-point lead at the top. Van Rooyen to Pedro to Brahim Diaz, played through but it's given away, and it's Mukin to Milosavljevic, Bryakov to Mukin, Milosavljevic for CSKA, loses it but then wins it back, gives it to Mukin to Vinogradov, and it's cleared by the goalkeeper. Del Grosso wins it back. Pons to Bongazzoni to Pedro to the right, and Kostis Koval plays it forward into the path of Pedro, who dinks the keeper. It's 3-0 to Milan. Surely with only 28 minutes gone, that's game over. And so they've had 2 shots on target from 3. We've had 4 from 7. We deserve to be probably at least 2 ahead, but we are 3 ahead at the moment. We have a free kick, Del Grosso over it, and he's put it in the back of the net. It's 4-0 to Milan, and only 34 minutes gone. This game's well and truly done. So we'll be looking to make substitutions in the second half. There'll be a precious little room for sentiment, and with 4 different goal scorers, there's nobody on a hat-trick, so I don't need to worry about preventing anybody from securing one. Pedro through, has the shot too high, and we just need to get the half-time now with the 4-0 lead intact, and then we can start removing players. I think probably Del Grosso will be the first one off, and probably followed by Larsson, but Del Grosso, yeah, we've had a lot of shots on target. Right, let's get, in fact we'll do it the other way round, because Larsson's on a yellow, we don't want to risk a red. Let's give Fanavong 45 minutes in exchange for Larsson. As I say, next one to come off is going to be Del Grosso, probably on about 60 minutes. So we're just literally hoping to get through to the 60th minute with no further highlights. We don't manage that. It's the CSKA goalkeeper with the long ball forward, and CSKA through on goal, but they blazed the chance well over the top. So 55 gone, still 4-0 to Milan. As I say, the game is dead as a contest. Del Grosso is going to be the one to come off. We'll bring on Mikel. In fact, we won't. We'll bring on Inacio. Or will we? No, we'll bring on Diaz. And we will then make our final sub very shortly after that. Although CSK are in again and blaze over once again. Our final substitution, I think we take Pons off, assuming we've got a right winger on the bench. Of course we have. We've got a choice of 2. We'll go with Rafael Leao. Franceschini, not really a right winger, more of a striker, and we want to keep him fresh for the next match, which of course is a very important game in Serie A. And we're into stoppage time, 2 minutes being signalled, so we're going to see this one out pretty much comfortably. It's played through for CSKA though. They've had very much the better of the second half, although Peña makes a comfortable save to keep it at 4-0. And it is mucking with the corner for CSKA. Desperately looking to preserve the clean sheet at this stage. And so far we have. That one goes over as well. 2 of the 4 minutes gone. It's Peña to Diaz to Van Rooyen. Finds Kostis Koval on the right. And the highlight comes to an end, and that is full time. Cska Moscow 0, Milan 4. I'll be back in a moment with the league table, the final Champions League table, and to tell you what's coming up on the next episode. Okay, so let's take a look at the Serie A league table, and as you can see we're in 3rd place in the league with 31 points from our 13 matches played, level on points with 2nd place Napoli, and 4 points adrift of leaders Inter, our cross-city rivals. And we'll check up on the Champions League table in just a sec. There is our Champions League table, and as you can see we top the group as expected with a perfect 6 wins from 6, so 18 points. Rangers go through with us with 12 points from a possible 18. Their only drop points coming in the 2 defeats against us. Cska Moscow edge out Bruges for the Europa League place. The head-to-head results being the separator for those 2 sides. And I'll be back in a moment to tell you what's coming up on the next episode. Okay, so coming up on the next episode, I'm going to bring you back at the end of January. So I'm going to show you Cremonese at home and the game at the start of February at home to Parma in Serie A, and we will also wrap up any business that we've done in the January transfer window. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Monday to Friday Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.